Good afternoon, everybody. This is Bob Iacchino from Path Trading Partners, along with my co-founder, Mike Arnold. It is September 13th, and this is a Path Chat, cryptocurrency educational update covering IOTA. I want to talk a little bit about, in the Bitcoin update, I talked about some of the reasons that the major cryptos are pushing lower, with some of the big boys in the traditional market space talking them down a little bit. Everything from outrageous statements of calling them cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin specifically a fraud and a Ponzi scheme, to thoughtful analysis that says that they might be overvalued. So that brings us to this idea that Mike and I mentioned in the past of trading around a core position. If you're watching these videos, to a certain degree, somewhere deep inside you, you believe that cryptocurrencies, any number of them, or potentially one of them, need to be owned longer term. And I agree with you. So when you're trading around a core position, what you're essentially doing is you're saying, I am core, and let's just say long, which means to own. I'm core long one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, IOTA, which actually is one of my handful of favorites, but it's not important. Let's say that I am core long and I want to be long, and how do you sort of soften the blow of sell-offs and also potentially increase your profits during rallies when you just want to hold this long position for a longer period of time? And that's called trading around a core position. So let's use IOTA as an example. IOTA right now is at about 57 cents to the US dollar. So let's say that when I initially got into IOTA, it was at 57 cents. And let's say that I have $500 of risk capital to allot to my core long position of IOTA. All right, that's what I've allotted. That's what my risk plan has said. I can put $500 in IOTA, and if it goes to zero, that's fine, but I don't think it will. I want to hold it long term. So at 57 cents, $500 of IOTA is about 877 coins. That amounts to about $499.80. And you hold that, regardless of where the price goes. Now, Mike's going to talk to you a little bit about getting into short mode, which means that our longs and the additional longs that we'll be adding to our core position, that we're going to not keep them as long as we normally would, because we're more in short mode, and we might even do some short positions. So if my core position is $500 at the time that I bought IOTA, that price is going to fluctuate. That 877 coins is going to stay stagnant over the long term. But let's say that Mike points out a short trade to me. So let's say that I'm going to allot about a third of my core position for trading around that core position. So if I have a short trade, Mike points out a short trade to me. I say, okay, a third of my core position, my 877 coins, is about 292 of them. So get a short trade, I sell 292 coins. When it reaches my target or when it stops me out, I buy those 292 coins back. And that puts me back at my core position of 877 IOTA coins. Now it's the same for a long. I'm going to allocate a third of my core position to trading around on the long side as well. So if Mike says, hey, we've got a quick rally that's going to go up to the rotation zone, I say, okay, I'm going to buy another 292 coins on this dip that we're getting now. And when it gets to my target, I'm going to sell those out and go back to my core position of 877 coins. Now what that does is it reduces the cost to hold these coins. When you see IOTA go from 110 to 57 cents, if you're trading short positions, we had a double top in this particular area when it came off those highs. We had a double top there, which was a short trade for us. We took in a profit on a short trade, trading around our core position. And then when we covered that short trade, we got back to our core position of 877 coins. Again, I'm giving an example here. That's not necessarily what our core position is. But that's sort of a breakdown of what it means. And we'll do a more detailed video on this sometime in the future. But that's what trading around a core position is. You have a core holding, and you will reduce and increase that core holding given short-term patterns that emerge. Let me turn it over to Mike to show you if any short-term patterns are emerging. Mike, it's all yours.
Thank you, Bob. IOTA, US dollar. Go over the double that was stopped out. Right now we're at the daily chart, still against the rotation zone, have a lot of overhead resistance, found some support down around this 47 47.70, 47.90 area, which is critical. This is now, it's actually it's a triple bottom based off this last part. 1 bottom, 2 bottom, 3 bottom, which is slightly more favors a continuation pattern. Should we close back down here below that 47.70 area, it would then, we'd be looking for a move down to this trend line that's rising, and then possibly the 38.51 area. So that is the next level down, but that's only on a key close that would trigger this triple bottom short pattern. Let's take a look at the bigger picture still. So you see right holding at this key area. This is the 62.5% retracement from this major swing low to high. This is a very critical level. If we do get below this level sustained, we will be looking for that 75% GAN level. Now switching over to the 4 hour. That 4 hour, we had a trend line trade that did hit the full target. The double bottom trade did not. We raised the stop, and then this bar proceeded to stop it out. So that trade is done. And we are still being very conservative, not looking for a bunch of new long trades until it can get above all this prior resistance. Aggressive traders can try to buy areas down here, but now we've already formed a triple bottom. If you're considering over here, now it's a 5 times bottom. If this is broken, there will be a possible quick and sharp move lower. But an aggressive trader can look on dips back here to step in with if you are looking to buy more IOTA. Just keep in mind that the major resistance zone right now is about 63 to 65. So if you're doing some of these dip buyings, you're going to want to not target anything beyond that. And you're going to want to keep the daily rotation zone in mind, where the upper end is now coming in about 66. That's what we have for you in our IOTA US dollar update. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you guys for watching. Our Patreon page is now up. Please consider donating to that page so we can get a lot more creative and in detail with these videos. And also hit like and subscribe and tell other people about us if you like what's happening here. Throw some comments up, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers, everyone.